forced to sleep on the floor. Chantal Levy. Sleeping with the dogs, not even with a doghouse. She paid her rent. She tried her best. She kept her house in order. But then Toronto Community Housing attempted to take her to court. And Miss Levy ended up not knowing the court system, asked her friend, Kevin Clark, the leader of the People's Political Party, to go with him. When Kevin Clark goes to court, the judge, Caroline King, says that even though she's aware that Miss Levy has mental illness and is on disability, and that Miss Levy does not know the system, she cannot be represented by Mr. Clark because of his political affiliation. But was it not political that led Mrs. Levy to be where you attempt to evict her? You know she's not a drug dealer. You knew that possibly she was a drug user in rehab, and yet a drug dealer that came from the environment you create knocks on her door. She's fast asleep. She wakes up and says, "What do you want? Hey, can you take this downstairs for me?" She said, "I'm sleeping, man." She said, "Come on, take it downstairs for me, and I'll give you this or whatever it is." She says, "I don't." "Come on." She's tired. She says, "Okay." So she took the package, went downstairs. She gives it to somebody. But then she says, "Hold it. What could there be in this so small they want me to give?" So she attempts to open it. And at that time, bang, she was handcuffed for the police, thrown in jail for trafficking. And then the money that the police use is buy money, so that's proceeds of crime. She says, "I'm not guilty of it. The guy came at my door, banging at my door. I just wanted to go to sleep, so he gave me something. I thought it was the earrings he said he was going to give to his girlfriend, and I took it downstairs, and next thing you know, I'm being handcuffed, I'm being thrown in, I'm being fingerprinted, all these things are happening, and I have all these terms on me, and my life is disrupted upside down." 12 years Chantal Levy has been in her housing. How long did Miss Levy have to wait for housing? It's a 10-year waiting list on housing. And you're telling me on an accusation of an act where there was no victims and it did not impede with the reasonable enjoyment of any members of the premise, because it was only a connection between a drug dealer who didn't live there, knocking at Mrs. Levy's house late at night, waking the woman up. The woman is not on her medication. She don't know what's going on. So she went downstairs, and who was there? The police. Did Mrs. Levy go to the police and says, "Here, you want to buy some crack?" Or was it the police that came to Mrs. Levy? And Mrs. Levy thought it was earrings she was giving the police, because the individual had said a while back, "Oh, yeah, I got some earrings to give to my girlfriend." He bring it downstairs. Chantal Levy is on ODSP. Chantal Levy has an extreme form of schizophrenia. And she goes to court, and she brings the only representation she knows. And because this individual has political affiliation and is a part of a political party, you deny Mrs. Levy the right to get representation, and then you put it over for her to seek legal counsel. She goes through hell with legal aid, and you don't even let Mrs. Levy know that she has a court case. And when Mrs. Levy was there on the 4th, Mrs. Levy got a piece of paper, and she thought that piece of paper was just telling her what date the court was. And a couple of days later, Mrs. Levy is at home, getting ready to go see her kids. And what happened? Boom, the sheriff got 15 minutes to leave. 10 years I wait for housing. 12 years I've been there. And because someone waked me up in my sleep and asked me to drop something downstairs because you enticed them to get it for you, you took my housing and you left me out in the streets. And take a look. You know how cold it is outside? That white stuff on the ground, that's snow. You threw this woman out in the snow. A single mother of 2 kids. What if her children were with her? And you know what the disgusting part about this? The police that testified were not paid by you. Well, yeah, they were paid by you, most likely. But they were also paid by Toronto Community Housing. Disgrace. Let's find out how much police officers have been paid by Toronto Community Housing. It is time to not only fix Toronto Community Housing, to fix City Hall, but to fix government. Yes, it is time to fix government. It is time to fix government. And in Ontario, only one leader can fix government. And that's the leader of the people. That's the People's Political Party. Joy to the world.